Welcome to Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the beautiful Winter Classic. It is a great day. I'm Tyler Radecki alongside Angie Carducci for Inside Hockey. We are just 100 feet away from the ice rink here at the Winter Classic. We skated on it yesterday, Angie. It felt great to skate on that.
It was a surreal experience. Fantastic.
Yeah, and the alumni game just finished up a couple hours ago. Really a fun game. 5-5 tie. Mario Lemieux, fan favorite here in Pittsburgh. 2 assists. I think he was going half speed, though. He definitely wasn't looking like he was trying as hard as we all expected him to.
Well, I think he had so many great players on that ice today. And, Robbie Brown and Mario Lemieux clicking for the goal was one of my favorite times. Just seeing those two guys together clicking like they did, how many, 20 years ago at this point. So pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, and for me, Peter Bondra tying it with just 40 seconds left in the game was pretty cool. Just one of the guys I grew up watching as a kid. It was pretty exciting. But of course, the main event is tomorrow. We hope tomorrow with the weather. It is a great day in Pittsburgh today. Just a little over 30 degrees. Feels kind of warm. The sun was out a little bit earlier. You hope the weather is going to hold. They're calling for rain all day, almost all day tomorrow. But you really hope it holds off long enough so they can get it in at some point.
If the rain could just skirt around Pittsburgh a little bit earlier in the day, that would be pretty ideal. They're saying maybe rain till 7 p.m., so maybe they'll get a late start, but I think we won't know until tomorrow. As of right now, shame they can't play this game today. It's perfect.
Yeah, it really is a perfect day. And personally, I think a night game would actually be better than a 1 o'clock start. You look at the bowl games going on in the afternoon, you certainly think a night game under the lights here at Heinz Field would be better. Just for, I think, the fans waiting for it all day, and then really just all that energy ready to go. And it really could be a nice change of pace, I think, for the NHL. But we'll see what happens with the weather tomorrow. We certainly don't want it to go to Sunday. I think that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, Sunday's a rough start time, 9 a.m. I hear, because NBC has football commitments, and so I don't know who's going to be up watching 9 o'clock Sunday morning. Certainly hope to get it in on Saturday.
Yeah, 9 a.m. on the East Coast is hard. Even today at the alumni game, it really didn't fill up until about 10:30. It was 9:30. A start for the alumni game was not anywhere close to the number of the seats they sold. And plus, you lose the entire West Coast market, obviously. But no one's waking up at 6 a.m. to watch hockey over on the West Coast. But we hope that holds off, and they do have a game tomorrow. So we'll get to that game right now. It's obviously the biggest game of the year for the NHL. John Collins yesterday called it their Super Bowl. It really is, and it's really been just a great moment for hockey. It's a great way to celebrate the game of hockey, and especially in cities like this.
Absolutely. Pittsburgh is such a great hockey market, and a few minutes ago we talked to Mario Lemieux, and one of the things he said was, 10 years ago this franchise was in peril, and obviously the Sidney Crosby lottery pick helped a lot, but now they've got a brand new arena, and here they've got the Winter Classic in Pittsburgh, so it's a great moment for the city, great moment for the franchise here in Pittsburgh.
Right now the Pens are practicing behind us, fans here. Certainly Pittsburgh heavy. I think I can count the number of Caps fans on one hand today. Haven't seen a whole lot for the alumni game. I'm sure it'll be a much even split tomorrow as the Pens practice behind us. The Caps a little bit later today, just their one practice. It really is a great moment for hockey. It's really exciting. The buzz around the city, I've only been here for a couple of days. I can really feel it. The street signs all have Winter Classic on it. The buses are all saying it. And you really can just see it all over the stadium and the hotels. It really is a huge moment for the city.
Absolutely. The city's been waiting for it for quite some time. The buzz started last summer when the Steelers schedule came out and everybody saw the Steelers have a Thursday night game before New Year's. People started assuming, it's going to happen because they're building in a couple of extra days there to build the rink before the Winter Classic. So it's been building in Pittsburgh for a long time, and here we are at the event. Very exciting for the city.
Well, I know when Pittsburgh was announced as the host city, some people were saying, well, they already had one, they really shouldn't get another one. But I think we all can agree that the fact that they got one is, I agree with it. And then to match it up with the Penguins, the Caps had to be in here somewhere with Ovechkin and really how hot they've been. And there's no better team to match up against here than Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. The rivalry is incredible between these two teams. Tyler and I have talked about the fact that these teams say they don't like each other, and you hear it all the time, but these two teams really don't like each other, and the Caps come in with a chip on their shoulder. Pittsburgh's beaten them a few times in the playoffs when the Caps have thought they had a very good shot at the Stanley Cup and moving on, and Pittsburgh's knocked them out of it. So the Caps certainly have every reason to want to beat this team in a big stage like this one, and obviously when it counts down the road in the spring. So a great rivalry, absolutely, two terrific high-octane teams to watch. I think it'll be great for the league. I understand why people are a little upset. Pittsburgh's been in it twice out of 4 years, but obviously Sidney Crosby gets a lot of face time as a kind of poster guy for the league, and he's does a great job at it. The guy lives and breathes hockey. Mario just said thinks about hockey 24 hours a day, and I really believe that of Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin, such a great talent. And really, these are two teams at their prime right now, just as far as the players, the rivalry, the just all the elements in place to make this a great contest.
Yeah, I think the HBO series has been really, really important with showing, behind the scenes of hockey. I think as a hockey fan and as a player myself, I can appreciate what these guys do just when I watch the game normally. But for the casual fans who are the ones the NHL wants to get with the Winter Classic, it really is a great way to show what these hockey players are all about. And I think from watching myself, I can really respect Sidney a whole lot more to see how much he really does and how much he really cares about hockey. The guy's a great leader. He works his butt off, and he really, really is a good poster boy for the NHL. He's a class act, and he really is hockey 24 hours a day. Mario is certainly not exaggerating there. You really can see it with the show. I think the show's been a great ambassador itself for the game of hockey.
The show's been tremendous. I was so excited, just to see how the show would play out. And after the first episode, I was so hooked and couldn't wait for the second one. Just the way they're getting inside of it. And even, those of us that are at most of the games, you get such a different perspective from the show. You see what's going on the ice, the stuff you're not hearing, from the press box or in the post-game interviews. And it's just really exciting to hear how things are playing out there and just kind of getting inside of hockey. I think it really does speak to the casual fan, gets inside some of the players' personalities. I think HBO's done a great job of that, really showcasing some people you might not think about on these teams. Obviously Ovechkin and Crosby have been showcased, but guys like, for Pittsburgh, Pascal Dupuis is a great personality. I think it's come off great on the series. Coach Dan Balsman, they've spent a lot of time with. And from the Caps, that last episode they had Eric Fear doing the nice little Christmas charity work, and just some of the stuff you're seeing from the inside. Mike Knuble having his jaw fixed, just cool stuff to see.
It really, I think, shows how tough hockey players are. And I think if you ask any of the players tomorrow, I think they'll say, rain, sleet, or snow, we'll play on this ice. They really, just being on it yesterday, you can really feel the seats and the 60,000 fans right on top of you, even though ours was empty, obviously. But even just looking around today, it really is going to be a great atmosphere here tomorrow, especially with the city of Pittsburgh. The fans here are great. Bruce Boudreau walked out during the alumni game, and he got a heavy dose of booze from the entire Mansfield faithful here. About 10,000 fans here for the alumni game.
At the time, the Caps were leading 4-3. He pointed to the scoreboard and didn't endear himself any further to the Pittsburgh fans at that point.
And I think that really is what makes the rivalry great, because Bruce is bought into it, the Penguins are bought into it, everybody loves it, and it really is. I think what makes hockey so special is the rivalries are so real. You get sports like baseball or basketball. I think football is much more like hockey. But, when you can't really physically hit somebody within a rivalry, I think it's a little bit lessened. And in hockey, especially with these two teams, they hit a lot. And I think we're going to see a whole lot of that tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, in this Winter Classic. It really is going to be a great game.
Yeah, it's an intense rivalry, like you said. We were talking about the last episode of 24/7, and just watching from the on-ice view of that last Pens-Caps game last week, watching those players from the moment the puck dropped, the hitting started, just a lot of aggressive play there from the drop of the puck. So pretty exciting, and they aren't going to be saving anything. I think as soon as they get out there, they're going to be ready.
All right, Angie, one final thing. Let's do a little prediction here. I'll start off with myself. It's going to be a great game tomorrow. I think the Caps played very well against Pittsburgh the last time they met. I thought they deserved to win the game if they played a little bit better on the power play. But I think they will come out tomorrow, and I think they'll be gunning to win this game. Just chip on their shoulder, as you said. I think they'll want a revenge for last week's game. So I'm going to have a Caps 4-3 winner down to the wire, as always with these two teams. What about you?
I also have a feeling about the Caps tomorrow. I'm thinking 5-4 Caps. I see that these outdoor games a lot of times don't lend themselves to the best of defense because the weather conditions might not be there, and maybe things get a little sloppy. So maybe a lot of goals tomorrow. I think 5-4 in a shootout. I see it coming down to the wire like it always has with these teams. I think Pittsburgh's already had a Winter Classic shootout win in opposing territory. So let's see if the Caps can come up with that one tomorrow.
We'll see. The cities of Pittsburgh and DC can agree on something. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. As always, check out InsideHockey.com for all the updates, and on Twitter as well. Thank you for watching. For Angie Carducci, I'm Tyler Radecki. We will see you tomorrow for the Winter Classic.